Tuesday with licensed professional counselor Yunetta Spring.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, man, it is Talk It Out Tuesday with licensed professional counselor Yunetta Spring. Good morning, Yunetta.
Hey, y'all. Good morning.
Man, we blessed and highly favored, man. We are so excited to have you on to continue our therapy, because we have to have therapy. This is so important. And this morning, we want to continue our conversation on making our mental health a priority in 2021. What you got for us today?
Yes, I wanted to kind of keep the conversation going on that, because I think it was so important, and I got a lot of engagement on social media, in particular about giving ourselves permission not to set resolutions.
Right.
That resonated with a lot of people, and the comment that Brett made. Brett, you remember the comment you made last week?
No, what I say?
So you said, what if we don't want to think about the past? Like, we just want to move on.
Right.
We just want to, spring forth. We got a lot of engagement on that. A lot of people really felt that. They agreed with you, and they kind of had the same sentiment. So I wanted to bring that back up, because I think it's really important for us, especially black folks, right? Because we have experienced so much pain historically, and presently we continue to experience things where we all just kind of want to move on, right, and get over it. And especially looking at what just happened last week at the Capitol. I don't know, for me it was really activating to see that, and for a lot of people I know it was as well. And I want to see us heal, not just move past things, but like really heal. You know what I mean? Yeah. So one thing to kind of remind ourselves of, or to kind of keep in our mind, is knowing that just because something isn't a surprise doesn't mean it's not stored within us. So I know a lot of times when we see different things, like different racial things, we feel like, okay, we're not surprised, right? But just because we're not surprised doesn't mean it's not stored. So this Talk It Out Tuesday specifically is for listeners that really resonated with that, wanting to move on, right? And this is for you guys to know when we need to revisit things, because we don't need to revisit everything, right? Sometimes it's healthy just to kind of continue to move forward. But these are three ways to know if you need to revisit the past, okay? So the first thing is, when you think about the event, how does your body respond, right? So like I said before, just because we're not surprised doesn't mean it's not stored within our body. So if we have like a visceral reaction, like if you feel that tightness in your chest or you feel something in your gut, then that means our nervous system has become activated, and that means that it may be something worth revisiting, because our body is constantly communicating with us, y'all. So even when we don't say what's wrong, our body is keeping the score, right? The next thing is to explore how is the past impacting you presently. So if you're able to move forward and there's no, you're viewing your life in an adaptive way, then cool. But if your past is causing you to view yourself in a maladaptive way, which means you're viewing yourself as a victim, or you feel like you're broken, or you're not good enough, then you may need to revisit that past experience to make sure you're viewing your present in a healthy way. And the last thing is, what are your beliefs about your future, right? If your past is tainting your hope, if it's blurring your vision, and if it's causing you to see yourself in a negative light, or you're hopeless, you don't see like much coming from your future, then you may be experiencing a belief blocker. And that's what trauma creates, right? It blocks our beliefs, and it makes it difficult for us to visualize anything good for ourselves in relation to our pain. So if you feel like you can't have a healthy relationship, you can't have stability or success in your life, then you may benefit from working through this with a therapist. So it's not just about like leaving the past in the past, but when your past subconsciously and sometimes consciously comes into your present and then tries to interfere with your future, then that's when it needs to be addressed. So I wanted to clarify that, because a lot of people, were engaged, and that really resonated with them. So I'm glad you said that, Brad, because it brought up a lot.
Man, we are so excited to have you, and we always look forward to doing this every Tuesday. So, people don't understand, man. Jesus created therapists. You can pray to God all you want to, but boy, you better get you some therapy. I don't care what it is.
Somebody to talk to.
Come on now. Let everybody know how you can be reached. Licensed professional counselor Yunetta Spring.
So you can find me on Instagram, Spring Forth Counseling. My website is springforthcounseling.org. And if you want to sign up for my mailing list, text the word SPRING to 55444.
Hey, Counselor Spring.
What's up?
Never trust a man in a wheelchair with dirty shoes. Have a nice day. More Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.